Oh my goodness. Sorry I'm late. But as you can see by this beautiful mark, let me get a close up on my head. My beautiful dog wanted to make out with me and decided to chomp into my forehead. So I had to put a little ointment and stuff on it. So I am late.
Hi,
I am Acid Betty.
And I'm Vi, and we are real life brother and sister, both totally obsessed with all things reality TV.
Welcome to our weekly reality rundown, where we try to talk about all of our favorite shows. But before we get into the regular stuff, we're going to get into what we've been watching, i.e. our feed. V, what's
on your feed?
Well, my feed is very short, and I showed you a little bit, but I'll start with the, of course, we're in Zeus Network, and I saw Bad versus Wild. I'm a little behind by a week, but we saw Vanity versus TT, and I showed you a little intro of that.
You're right in that I did dip my little toe in the Wild Baddie world to see what was going on with your show. I do have a question before you get started.
Okay.
Were you able to solve the mystery of what makes a baddie versus a wild?
No,
okay.
There isn't one.
It's like cool. I will let it go.
It was a good name.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the name of the teams. That's it?
Okay.
Yeah, so I was
just curious.
I wanted to report that I saw Vanity and TT battle it out, and Vanity was a complete drunk mess, as I expected her to be.
So wait, when you say battle it out, clarify what that means.
That's stupid.
Is that like a rap battle, a performance battle?
Exactly, yes. All of the above and below. At one point, they do
twerking.
They do like a
rapping.
Seinfeld like thing where they're holding, not Seinfeld. What am I talking about? What is it? The talk show, Springer, Jerry Springer. When they when they have like pies out there for some reason, you know, where Jerry Springer would be like, and here's food. Like, why, you know, like we obviously know there's gonna be a food fight.
Yeah.
So shit like that was going down. I can't remember what the rules were. You know, it's so stupid. They make up these random rules, you know, like, you know, like I'm going to ask a question and then whoever guesses it right gets to smack the pie in the other person's face or something like that, let's say.
Maybe they found out that, you know, I think it's called sloshing. I think they're finding out that's trending.
So yeah, so there was that, and yes, there's like a twerk off, you know, or a thing where it's like, you know, a red light, you know, and whoever is stuck moving is eliminated slowly.
Okay.
It's just random shit like that. There's no winner or losers. It's usually I feel like it's just like a setup just for people to be entertained.
So but you're saying that Bobby Lights Vanity.
Yeah.
Showed up with her doing her impression of the Bobby Lights that I know.
Yeah.
Which is just a drunk hot mess.
Yeah, so apparently Vanity is the alter ego of Bobby Lights, who would be Bobby Lights in drag. Yes, and Bobby Lights showed up already twisted. And yeah, he's a mess. And when he gets messy, he's just messy. And it was like a team between, like, it looked like entertainers, possibly like improv comedian people, and then like, you know, Bobby Lights is just a drunk. So I think the comedians and the improv people, I think, got kind of tired because the drunk would never give them a moment to do their thing. You know, you kind of like,
I see.
You know, like you do your thing and then I do mine. And then you kind of like, you know, you pass the ball. But like if you're like in the middle of doing something and the drunk keeps coming in going, and then like physically does stuff, it started like grinding on the people. But TT did a really good job. You know, I think TT's hysterical and amazing. So it was fun.
You know, I think you could have predicted that, right?
Yes.
I mean, that was your general feeling in the beginning, is that TT kind of is a seasoned performer, an actual entertainer.
Yeah.
And Bobby Lights is a reality star.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. So it was kind of like
No offense to Bobby Lights and his singing ability.
Yeah, no, well, he didn't sing in this. That's what I mean.
Right.
He hardly sings, so it's just like he's just a mess.
I didn't even know he sang until he's saying that goodbye to somebody. So
yeah.
Shit, there we are with that.
And then I saw the end of the Baddies Caribbean Auditions Part 3, which is always, again...
Was that the final part?
It is the final part, but it reminds me of when like we held auditions for Janet Jackson, where it was like... we already knew who the dancer was, but there were still auditions. So that's what it kind of feels like. So there's this big 3-part auditions, and they're handing out tickets, and then there's like, it goes down now, you're handing out tickets after that. And then the cast was announced, I think, and I couldn't even tell you if anyone who auditioned is in the cast. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of like a lot of old people, maybe some new, but I don't, yeah. But then I think the new people were already there as judges. So I don't know. So again, it was just like the auditions were fun and the girls went crazy, but I don't know if it was truly an audition.
Okay, well, I mean, forgive me, I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm sure I would be disappointed if I was a bigger fan of the show and I was watching and I wanted some real shit, but I'm not surprised because, they really are pandering.
I knew what it was. I mean, I've seen their auditions, so I know I know that their auditions are kind of like open calls. Because I've seen that people who were auditioning for one show in like 2 or 3 other shows, not necessarily the one that they said they were auditioning for. So I could see them just kind of like doing open call and just like, getting new blood in. But out of the thousands of people that show up, it's kind of like surprising, that I don't know if they get a few
Somehow
people.
It's always the same 10.
Yeah. And that's really, that's all that's on my feed. I mean, I've caught little bits of other things, but that was all on my feed. What about you, Vie?
Well, wait a minute, because you had something about a little Nene action. What was up with Nene?
That's it. She was it. She never showed up again.
That was it?
Yeah. She was in the second part. I didn't see her in the third part.
She kind of came in, gave some face, gave some hey, and like walked out?
We didn't even see her walk out. I mean, seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, that's, it kind of ended. Yeah.
Wah, wah.
They don't, it's not very, they're not very thorough with their storylines or like.
Well, it's just that the last time you and I spoke about it, we were like thinking, oh shit, this is going to be Nene's second life. Like, this is her entering this new thing. Maybe she's going to be a host. So I'm disappointed.
But yeah, but there is like a hostess that does do that. And she was there too, but that show, that's basically at the beginning and end. So maybe Nene's already done a reunion. So if she shows up again at the other reunion, then maybe we know it's like Nene's new little thing.
She's the reunion queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I'm good either way. I mean, I want to see her everywhere, so I'm good. I'm good with it.
Yeah, so there was no more of her. That's it on my feed.
Okay. Yeah. Wah, wah. Well, Married at First Sight is closing. Season is ending.
Okay.
So I just wanted to talk about it because I don't know if I'm the only one that's noticed that every season they're constantly trying to shove these people that aren't physically attracted to each other. And they have this phrase that they repeat constantly, that love is a choice. And it makes you want to throw something. Well, this particular season is shocking because of all the 5 couples, not one stayed together.
Oh.
And I don't mean they stayed together and now I'm like looking into the news and I'm getting updates. I mean, not one of the couples, first of all, not the entire cast even finished the show. There was like literally 2 or 3 of the 5 that had dropped out of the fucking show before it even ended. And then of the ones that remained, no one said, yes, we want to continue with this. Like, they're already married. They could have easily just said, yeah, we're going to explore this further after the cameras leave. Sometimes they do that and they still split, but no one even wanted, they were like, get me out of here.
Damn. Well,
so I'm going to be really surprised if they do another season.
Or if they don't like mix
who's
it
gonna
up.
want to see that?
Well, I think this season was pretty popular with like I can't remember her name, the woman who said she looked like someone else, and I mean even
That's Love Is Blind.
Oh, see, I'm getting them all mixed up.
Yeah, I know, my poor brother. He's like too much trash.
Oh yeah, that's Love Is Blind. Married at First Sight is where they show up at the altar.
They don't have a choice in the matter. Love Is Blind.
Yeah,
is
they kind of
choose. You made the choice.
Yeah.
It's easier to look around. Hello. So Married at First Sight. Wah, wah,
yeah,
wah.
well,
I'm really curious to see what the reunion is like. I would advise that you even tiptoe into that because it doesn't matter really what you know or what happened, because this particular season you have the men on one side and the women on the other, and they're both accusing each other, like literally as groups. Of gaslighting and lying. It's very interesting. You see a lot of like, how dare you? That's a bold face. A lot of people claiming that like the diary entries were being deleted or being told to be deleted. So it's very weird.
Oh.
It's like, yes, a lot of, you told me to act this way when the camera crew was there, but we both know it wasn't like that.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of that.
So production's going to be pissed.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see what happens. Because unlike, say, some of the other countries where the meat is on the show, this is going to be all about what was going on not on the show.
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, so that's really what I would talk about that show. I thought that you and I should talk about Happily Ever After? ? Or 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After?
Okay.
Because we had originally talked to and announced that we were going to cover this season.
Right.
And we've backed the fuck off. So I just wanted to talk about why we backed off.
Well, tell us. I mean, a lot of the reason is from your obsessive history of what's going on. So you actually know what's happening, right? The T is because
I do know
of reality versus the show.
Yes. Of known reality.
Yeah.
Like not even rumored factual stuff that's out there that I'm not even looking for. It's just there.
Yeah.
So speaking of like of the 9 couples and of the 9 couples that are on the show, like that are airing right now, there are 5 that have either already divorced, like officially out there. Everyone knows they're divorced. Or in the case of, let's say, Angela and Michael have run away. So
5 of the 9. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, let's just recap really quick. Jasmine and Gino on the show, divorced. She's living in New York with another 90 Day Fiancé star, Nikki Exotica. So working out.
Which we love.
We love that for her.
Yes.
But why are we watching this ridiculous show?
Yeah.
You have Nicole and Mahmoud, who is, already offended by mannequins and like episode 1 or 2 has already taken off with her phone and her credit cards. And at this point, he's actually in jail for domestic abuse right now. I don't want to watch a show about their relationship. I don't know about you guys. Angela and Michael actually also ran away from Angela, claiming that he... Right, this is an opposite. He ran away and left everything behind, with the exception of a burner phone that had a picture of his passport because he wanted to have the illusion that he was like taken so he'd have time to escape. And he's on the run saying that Angela has threatened him, and we are totally in belief of this. In fact, we believe it's so serious that the word on the street is that Angela and Michael, like their segment has actually been edited off the show. So they may not even be on the show. They're already on 3rd episode and they're not even on the show.
Wow.
So they might have been like gone. Then you've got Liz and Ed. They're not together. That's been done. And Rob and Sophie. They're not together.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, as far as Acid Betty and I are concerned, there are a few of the remaining couples we could give a shit. I'll name the other couples. Kobe and Emily. That was interesting because they're in Africa.
Okay.
They're in Cameroon. So that's interesting. Okay. We have Thais and Patrick. The only thing interesting about them is Johnny Sparkles.
Right.
Manuel and Ashley, and her non-accent accent drives me crazy. And he's like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
He's a giant man
with the family.
I can't stand him. And then you have Alexi and Lauren, which they're building condos in Israel. I don't know what they're doing. I don't really care what they're doing. So.
It sucks because honestly, I liked them and everything, and I related because they're Jewish. I'm Jewish, but in current day drama, I'm not a fan of anything Israel. So yeah,
we would have a very difficult time discussing them.
Yeah.
So we're happy that we're not going to.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with our happily ever after question mark. It's not much of a question mark.
It's a bigger question mark.
None of those people are happily.
It's a bigger question mark for us.
Miserable.
If we're into them or not, we don't know.
Yeah, so we've decided to back the hell up. We're going to finish our single life because there are so many tell-all parts to talk about. And by the time that runs out, we're going to have a whole new 90 Day Fiancé spinoff to talk about because, they just keep spinning out the spinoff, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, and we saw like a coming attraction, right? Of new couples.
Yes, we are most likely going to jump into 90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise.
There we go.
Which is a lot more like a sexier way of saying 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Because it is the other way, only they're probably in the Caribbean or Spain or, they're in a much more beautiful place. And typically there was someone that they met on vacation.
Oh, there we go. That would make more sense.
And they're
Paradise.
Moving there. They're always moving to the location. It's kind of like on the last 90 Day Fiancé, if you remember Danielle moved to the Dominican Republic. She could have been on Love in Paradise.
Well, I was going to say it's kind of like racist of us, right? Because what is it? The one who went to Ahmud or whatever, where'd she go? We wouldn't label that as paradise, but she did go stay over there.
She went to Egypt.
Yeah. So I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Not funny, but like
that's why I say
typical.
Specifically paradise, I think, to the American is Caribbean, like very specifically an island with
something
palm
touched
trees
by water
and sunshine. Because you can't say racist because typically these countries are also dark.
Yeah, I guess, but they're not Muslim.
Yeah, that would be it's not racist. It's like just bigotry, just straight up.
I mean, if I really break it down,
like Muslims.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like whatever.
Well, you know what's tough, and we could talk about. I mean, it's difficult because Mahmoud is not making things any better. Like he is literally the textbook of what an American white woman would be afraid of, like what they tell you these Arab men are like. And I can tell you, as someone that has dated a few Arab men, they're sexy, they're lovely, and they do respect women. It's not all like that. So
yeah,
I don't like kind of the assumption that, because a lot of the times the Arabic men that they have on this show all fall into that category. They're very strict, and I don't know. I don't feel like it's representative of everybody.
I agree.
I just want to put that out there.
Totally.
Like totes my goats. Oh my God. So that brings us to the tell-all, which is so juicy. And we are going to cover 2 parts.
Yes. We're doing it because we skipped last week in airing. So we're just smashing them together this week.
Yeah, well, fuck it. It's all the same show. It's not our fault that they split it into 3.
I might as well, because even with my notes, it wasn't because they kind of stretch things out so much.
Yeah.
So,
and they bounce between people. It's like hot seat, hot seat, hot seat, hot seat.
It's ridiculous.
So let's talk about it.
And when it started, I had said, it feels like, see, I didn't even, this is why I didn't take notes. It feels like it's going to be Veronica and Tim have this amazing relationship, and everyone else around them is the problem, no matter what, even though they are the problem. And then that's what basically happened. It was like the 2 of them sitting there pretending as if everything they did was so amazing. But the thing that set me off was over here. I had Tumor Tim giving dating advice to Tyray is classic, because it was like the guy who cannot kiss, who's awkward, doesn't have sex, has actually no sex drive, is giving advice. That was my first note, because I was like, okay, here we go. These 2 dysfunctional people are sitting there like, we're not dysfunctional.
That was a common theme. It was very overshadowing. I mean, let's just say it. Tim himself is very opinionated and loud and intrusive in his thoughts. Like, he just had something to say about everybody. And of course you wrote that down, because that's literally how it was. The man had an opinion, and it wasn't just an opinion. It was like, let me advise you on, because I know. And it wasn't just, it was like the dating, it was relationships, it was the sex life, specifically the fact that Tyray wasn't having sex. And I thought the same thing. This is the man that I have watched on even previous seasons. Let's not even fucking talk about this season of Single Life. How we were introduced to him once again. The man is like in Colombia with one of the most beautiful girls, and she's throwing herself at him. And he's like, oh no, ooh, cooties, ooh. And this time, again with Luisa, like, why are you trying to force me to kiss you? Yo, I'm glad Tyray clocked it, because there is that moment. Did you see that he is speaking to the camera behind the stage, and he's like, I don't think any of these people should be giving me advice. And I was like, that's right.
I didn't see that, but good for him.
Hold strong to that, Tyray, because that is an accurate assessment.
Yeah. And then and
I like the minute.
Go ahead.
I wasn't a fan of Debbie, but I was just want to say, did you notice that the minute like Debbie and Tim kind of are in the same space, Debbie says he's a snob. And I was like, that's interesting.
Debbie is so like a Puritan. Yeah, she's like a walking Puritan. She's like,
oh, well.
So he came from the Pilgrims, and she's like, hi,
okay, wait,
why are you not wearing 5 layers of clothing at all times? And you must say certain things.
Let's finish up with Veronica and Tim, because I got a lot to say.
Well, I'm not even done with them. I was just saying, like, when you brought her up, I was just like, yeah. And Debbie is like, you must keep your legs together, your ankles together, and you bow your head every time a man walks into a room. And anyway, sorry, Veronica and Tim.
No, I'm with you. That's why I'm like, go, honey, speak my mind. Because we're not the only ones that thought that, I'm sure. I mean, it was the most absurd, the things that were coming out of that old woman's mouth.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And to talk about how dressing is how you express yourself and how the world interprets you. And you're defined clearly, according to Debbie, of course. This is according to Debbie. You're defined by how you look and what you wear. Well, Debbie, we have to have conversations about that.
Yeah, definitely. Because if that's the tea, girl.
Because we've been very forgiving with you, honey.
Very.
Very. You with your little Phoenix sequins outfit.
Yeah,
okay?
like her all plastic outfits and fans and just like.
That's a no.
Yeah.
It was just interesting. She preaches a lot of like love and no hate, and she comes off like this hippy dippy, and she's nothing but a boomer.
And then and then it's like, then he doesn't realize that she has a whole bunch of rules and regulations that everyone must follow, otherwise it's wrong.
Which is so weird, because I'm telling you, like all this entire time, I've been so chill with her, and even her son, like that she could create that piece of shit. I thought to myself, well, she's a hippie, man. Like, she loves the Grateful Dead probably, and she's into free love and Woodstock and woo, No. She's actually like this pearl clutching, clandestine, like Quaker, wear your fucking chastity belt.
Yeah, Quaker. Exactly. Puritan. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, bitch, get off. No.
What would your dead great third grandparents think about you today?
I mean,
why haven't you thought about that?
First of all, Sarper is not even American, right? He's like from literally the old world. So what the fuck? And he's got like gray in his beard. Like he is a grown man. And she's like, what would your parents think? Oh, honey, do you really think that's what he's thinking about? Is his mommy and daddy right now?
It's so stupid.
I just know I wanted to mention that Jamal, because, we love Jamal and we still love Jamal. Jamal is normally so chill, right? Like every time we've seen him, even when he looked like he was about to be in a fight, he was very chill.
Yes.
That's how he came off to me. But did you notice that when he came on stage, his leg was bouncing?
Oh, he was ready to kill them.
Yeah, he was in hot. And then
because he knew because Veronica and Tim were sitting up on their hill pretending like they did nothing wrong and there's nothing wrong over there. And even Veronica so much so stormed off because she can't take the heat. When all of a sudden it's like, no, this is what you did. This is what they said. This is the truth. She was like, you're dead to me. All of you. Fuck you, bitch. Like,
it was all very threatening and manipulative.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't true, you could have sat on stage and said, it's not true. And then shut the fuck up. You could have just said it's not true. But instead, you chose to kind of bully this girl. And that was when I was like, you just showed who you are.
Yeah.
Because you could have just sat in the truth.
Yeah. It was crazy. Again, it was just like, there's Veronica and Tim thinking that there's nothing wrong with them or their relationship. And it's like, they are what's wrong. It's obvious. It's just obvious. Oh my
God, it's so strange.
I know I keep repeating myself, but they're sick.
And they laugh.
They're sick.
Like, haha, we secretly hate each other.
Yeah, watching this reunion, I was like, they need their own show. Like, they need their own little, because it's not smothered. It's like this weird, cannot get rid of each other.
No, I think TLC has an opportunity here. This isn't even a joke, now that you said that. Since they love dysfunction, right? Because they have the hoarding, the fat people, the smothered, right? It's all about like this extreme of everything. They could do extreme relationships.
Yeah.
Codependency, and they could show partners that have like fucked other like lives. Like we've been divorced 25 years, but we live together. I guarantee that exists.
Of course. That's them.
Like, Veronica and Tim are not alone.
That's them. Yeah. And they think...
And Tim's like, well, I got to be here for her daughter. And she's like, I'm 30 and I have children of my own.
Girl, we saw the daughter. I don't know how old she is, but we saw the daughter on the show.
Oh my gosh, if I could have recorded
She's old
that
enough.
for our podcast, because we were together when we watched that episode, and I remember you looked at me and you said, that's an adult. That's not a child. Oh my God. You were like, everything's changed for me. You were like, I wish they had mentioned that before. That's a grown person.
Well, yeah, they're pretending so like pissed. She's some teenager who needs help or anything. She was like, hello, Timothy. I just put some tea in the hoo-hoo. I was like, what is going on? Not what you guys were painting out to be.
And meanwhile, even in all the drama and the bullshit, Jamal still has the presence of mind and the maturity to say, you know what? This just didn't work. We knew it wasn't going to work. And I apologize for not handling it even better. And I'm like, oh my God, you're constantly apologizing for what? Not being Jesus, basically, at this point?
Well, because they're gaslighting them all the time. Because Veronica's making everyone feel like it's them. It's not her. And then when they clock her on it, she like doesn't hear it. And she pretends like she doesn't hear it or she storms out. Like she leaves or storms off the stage.
That's the second time that she's stormed off.
Like she did that on their dating too. Remember? And she was like, whatever, I'm leaving.
Yes.
Like that's what I mean. It's like she literally, when she gets cornered.
She's doing everything that, like you said in the very beginning of our podcast when we started the show, how Veronica states, I'm an independent woman. I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, but everything that you do is literally the direct opposite of what a strong, confident, truthful woman does. Like, for example, a great example was that last tell-all with Shekinah, speaking of Sarper, and how she just sat.
Oh, yeah.
While people were attacking her. You're this talk. I mean, that was some, like, really hot shit coming at her face. Nothing like Veronica got nothing. She had the whole stage coming at her, and she was just, like, unbothered because she knew.
They had everything. The whole show was coming after her. And after when it was all done, she was just like... Thank you so much for having me. Where's my car?
Yeah, bye. Yeah.
Fuck them all.
I mean, if that's not like to think that Shekinah and Sarper are like the idols here, but come on, guys, figure it out.
I love that. Yeah. And then
So that's Veronica and Tim.
Yeah, and then the last note I have, I don't even know what I'm responding to, but I said Tim is spreading other people's business. I don't remember. Did he?
I know exactly why you said that, because I actually have a note here
that
makes sense. Well, I have a note. Hold on. That says that he was interrupting. Yeah, so even when Chantel, when they had Yiannis on, he was interrupting Sean, the host, and saying, Yiannis, do you think Chantel is ready? I don't think she's ready. It was like, Tim, no one's even asking you. You're not even in this conversation.
Right.
I'm wondering if that's what you were speaking to.
God, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I don't have anything else. Oh, also, remember that you and I had a conversation about, like, I don't like it when people make comments, especially about women, about, I don't like the idea that my lady has had sex with anyone basically before me.
Oh, yeah.
And Tim and Johnny Sparkles were both speaking about Chantel. Like, I don't want to know that my girlfriend's had sex with half the city.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe you were speaking to that. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, that is just bullshit.
Tim related.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, wait. Well, I said it was ownership. You said it was inadequacy. I think we're meeting in the middle on that.
I said it was what?
Inadequacy. Fear of inadequacy, like competition. When a man makes a comment like, I don't want to know that you were basically dating anyone else before me. And I'm saying that usually is a sign of, that's like old school. That's like ownership, you know, like I want to know you're brand new out of the box.
Right.
And you were like, I don't know. I think that's more like, I don't think they want to compete with other men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think,
well, I mean, also,
when I say we're going to meet in the middle, I think it's a little above.
Imagine how Pedro feels now with Chantel saying, you know where I'm going with this.
I want to have what I've never had.
See that?
I want someone
that
hung like a horse.
Goes into that. Do you see what I'm saying? So that goes into that. So
I know, but
that's where that comes from.
Boo-hoo.
But men are just stupid.
Well,
some are.
Yeah.
And the thing that I wrote with part 2 is, I'm sure that the conversation has already turned to Chantel's lack of panties. And so I was like, I wrote Chantel.
Honey, the whole part 1 was about her
Yeah, that's
panties.
what I mean. So I'm assuming we are there, right? We're already there. So it starts, so like.
Well, because now Karen is here.
Right, so we jump in. So the first note I wrote was that Chantel needs to leave the stage immediately and take her panties off and then tell everyone that's exactly what she did. Like, I wish she was that bitch. I wish she was like, excuse me. And then just left the stage and came back and was like,
the problem
I had to take my panties off. Be like,
she is that bitch, but she's not smart enough to do something like that.
I know, her mom is.
Her mother might. Did you see her on the edge of the stage? She was like, "Can I go now? Can I go now?" She was like, "Gah, gah, gah."
You know, I know you hate Karen, but I liked Karen in this situation.
Well, I like Karen when she's acting like a mother. Because how do you not like a mother?
I wrote, Debbie can't understand women like to be naked, which I thought was funny.
That's what you said. You said Debbie can't.
That's what I wrote. Yeah,
Debbie can't understand.
Which is true, because I mean, and again, it reminded me of that conversation I was telling you when I remember seeing some interview with Lady Gaga or whatever, where she was like, oh, don't you want to be loved for your mind or this and that? And they're talking about her perfume, and she was like,
oh, she's like, I want to be like a whore
sure,
too.
Yeah, she was like, sure, I want you to love me for my mind, but I want to smell like a slut. Yeah, I want to smell like a whore. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck does one have to do with the other? And that's what I felt like with this, where Debbie was very much like, you know, you must be wearing 6 items of clothing of your sex that you were assigned at birth at all times and include a habit. Otherwise, you are not a real woman.
A habit
is like really hard for her to understand. If a woman is like, no, actually, I just want to like be in a bathing suit or maybe just like have my tits out at a beach. Like, God forbid, Debbie. Like, good God.
Well, my God is right. Like, I don't understand. I just have so many thoughts about her position and then her life because so much of it is contradictory. Like, that type of person, that type of thinking, the idea that you dress the way you do and that you were just on a plane trying to be with a 24-year-old child that isn't just old enough to be your son, but your grandson, Debbie. And you're running around talking about your girlish, how did she put it? I don't even remember, but I mean, she's just ridiculous.
She's pretending like she's in like the 1820s or something, like very much like.
Well, yeah, and I also don't appreciate the judgment of, like, again, she's supposed to be the person that she espouses to be, the person that she exclaims to be. this modern, progressive, open thinker. Why are you judging women like that based on what they're wearing? Like, if someone were to judge her based on what she was wearing and like she's some crazy eccentric white trash, she would not stand for it.
It's also very funny to me that we're having Debbie, who is how old, and she's in
her 70s.
She has yet to find a man, and she's out there on the stage being the one being like, I'm at the forefront to tell you how to find a man, and this is how you do it, and you're doing it wrong. I thought was also amusing. It was like Tim. It was like, well, you're a total failure. What are you up here giving advice for?
I'll be honest. I wanted to go back and watch the show again to confirm something, but I didn't have it in me. I wasn't motivated enough. But I just have this feeling when Debbie introduces herself with Osama originally that she did not start out a chaste woman. Like, I do believe that she got married because she was pregnant.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, she was out there doing the thing. No.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No.
Exactly. And what is this thing? I can't remember what the rules were because I took my notes on my phone. I just put Tim would know all about the penis rules. What does that mean?
Penis rules?
Yeah.
Oh
what
my God.
The hell is that reference to?
That. The penis rules.
That is so funny. I'm trying to kind of remember, but I can't.
I know exactly what that was. Chantel makes the joke about, I want something I've never had. And he says the most absurd thing. He says, let's talk about a man's penis when it's not here to defend himself.
Right. Yes.
Because then what's he going to do if he was there, whip it out and say, look, it's big? Shut up, Tim.
Ha. Tim's such an idiot. So someone has
a small penis, huh, Tim?
Yeah.
Like, your little hands really do show who you are, don't they? Your little bobblehead with your little hands.
Yeah.
Honey.
And then basically
which brings us...
What?
Oh, so wait, what? I'm sorry. What did you think about Karen interrogating Yiannis after they basically, they've known each other for 6 days?
Well, it was like whatever. I expected it kind of, but they did kind of catch him in the fact that he didn't even look into like visas. Like he didn't even research.
I know, but see, that's the kind of shit that like you date someone and then you find that out and then you just move on. The way that it was blown up to be like, she's not in a relationship.
Right.
Nothing. He's like a million miles away. There's so many reasons that you should just be moving on.
Yeah, but they did say the next step would be like, okay, you're going to come to America. We're going to go basically back and forth. So like the least he could have done is use the internet and just been like, oh, how do I do that real quick?
I don't think he really
I don't think
was
so.
serious.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so c'est la vie.
And I think it's silly to ask someone that's known anyone for 6 days, do you think that they're ready for any stage of their life? How would you know?
Yeah, I know.
You met her on vacation, so she doesn't know you, you don't know her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like they were just rubbing it in. And I'm not a fan of Chantel, but I also don't like it when people are like, if you're going to bully someone, there were people on that stage that deserve a little bullying, and Chantel wasn't one of them.
Agreed. No, well, the bullies were bullying.
Right.
That's why.
But the host was kind of participating because she was the one asking questions like, Yiannis, do you think that Chantel is ready to move on?
Yeah, I know. Such a stupid question. I know.
Who cares, Sean? Ask Tim if he likes to have sex with women.
Hello.
Or anybody.
Yeah, so, well, that's funny because I was going to say when they brought on Natalie, again, there's Toomer Tim and Veronica just laughing and chiming in the whole time.
Right.
Into Natalie's situation, which is horrible.
And again, Natalie had such lovely things to say whenever she like interacted with Tyray and... Tim had that nasty thing about, or no, not Tim, Johnny Sparkles, how he was like, well, you tell me, Natalie, well, you want someone with experience, huh? Like, again, they're trying to make Tyray feel less than. And she just said, I want to be with someone that loves me.
Yeah.
Like, there you go.
Yeah.
Like that. They think that you're not smart, but you are. I'm a fan of Natalie.
I know. And then they bring, Josh's...
She's not what people think she is.
They bring his friends, coworkers, and business partners.
Well, first they have Josh. Then they have Debbie and Caesar, which is kind of funny. Like, why is Caesar there?
Right.
I guess because he likes Ukrainian women, which was weird. And then you have... he's actually like an enemy of Natalie.
I know.
Because Natalie's
doesn't
like, you
like
insulted
him.
Me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Insults her people.
Debbie and Josh, that was funny.
And then... That was weird. They bring like these old castmates just because the other castmates don't like them.
Well, it's like,
like they have no relation to the time.
It's almost as if the cast is kind of boring, and the only way to get any hot confrontational moments is to bring on other people.
Right.
So that's what they do. They're like, oh, Caesar, hates Natalie, or Natalie hates Caesar, and Josh hates Debbie, and Debbie has an opinion on everyone anyways. OG Debbie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Damn.
And then you were going to say Josh's friends also.
Yeah, they came on and the white guy was very nasty of a human being.
I told you I didn't like him, didn't I?
Yeah, he was very much like literally
I know that guy.
The gross side of like Hollywood or whatever that they warn you about. Like that it was
what I said.
Him. It was him. Incarnate.
That's what I said the first time he was on the show. I was like, you can feel the grease. The guy is greasy and gross and nasty.
Yeah.
And just, you could tell with his fake ass hairline and his big old, go back to your hole or under the rock or sucking Josh's dick just to get a job, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. And I thought it was
nasty.
He's nasty, but I thought it was funny because he was very like, typical LA of a total asshole, and then I know how to read people, and this is what it is. And ironically, is like he actually isn't good at reading people or who they are, but he sure thinks he is.
No, but you know what was really gross is that's not even what he said. You know what he said? And they both agreed, him and Josh. And I was like, ugh, I knew I didn't like Josh. Like, never liked Josh, but this just confirms it. He actually said, we're in the business of judging people. And that was the word, because they have a modeling agency. And there's two unattractive men, like these squirrely little nothing man children. And they're uppity with some woman that they should be showing respect to simply because she's elder. And saying, well, we're in the business of telling other women that they're ugly. Well, I wouldn't brag about that, dude. That's not something to be like,
Yeah.
He's just so gross. And then Josh was like, yeah, don't you know that that's our business? Like...
Yeah, no.
Interesting. Self, like that word when you give yourself something. Self-proclaimed.
Yeah. I just saw major ego problems because it wasn't like they're not, I don't know. It's like Hollywood where it's like they have no claim to fame or anything, but they're acting like they're fucking Robert De Niro.
Right.
And it's like, but like.
Well, like they're anybody.
You're not. Yeah.
In fact, clock yourself, because the only reason both of you are on the show is because of
Natalie. Yeah.
She's not on the show because of you two.
I know, right?
By the way. So you're acting like she's using you for what? Like, so far, every show she's been on is because we're interested in her.
And that's
That's where we're at with our tell-all.
Yeah. Natalie is a human being. She is not a lamp. And that is where we're at.
Yeah. No lamps. No lamps were hurt in this episode.
No lamps.
So from surviving the single life to surviving the jungle, off we go. We're back to Survivor. And if you are experiencing deja vu while watching this next episode, you're not the only one, because once again, the episode starts with who struggling?
Banu.
Purple and Banu.
Yeah. And we're doing...
It's like a never-ending Groundhog Days.
And we're doing 2 episodes again, right? Because we're catching up with the fact that we didn't do last week. Yeah, so Banu's tribe is pissed that he gave up all this information at his magical journey with the other members.
Yeah, did you clock that they call it a journey? I made it a note to so that we know that they specifically call them journeys.
It's a journey.
It's a journey. Who went on the journey? Banu, and Banu told us everything. You know what's funny about that? It's very presumptuous, because the only time that that's going to matter is if you make the merge.
I know. Well, they were talking like it was already happening already.
Right.
Like tomorrow.
Very assumptive.
Banu ruined everything for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think they were overacting, but I guess that's how it is with like when you're island, everything is magnified.
I also think that they, at this point, any reason to pile on to the reason to get rid of Banu.
Oh yeah. They hate the guy.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, Tiffany told the true feelings when she made that statement about, if you want to win 1 million hearts and go camping or do charity, why are you here?
Well, and
I thought, as an audience member, I felt bad, but I thought, oh my God, I would either be her or Kenzie in this situation, because I just would not have a patience for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine on a television show, but 24 hours a day, that's a lot.
I understand where he's coming from. And yeah, you can't win 1 million hearts any other way.
I know, right?
I mean, other than TV or movies. So get into it, idiots.
But think about, you have to think about, I'm just saying their situation. They're like, why aren't you playing the game? You're kind of fucking all of us up.
No, I understand that.
I feel like I'm saying when I'm here in my house, I feel that way. But I had to be honest with myself and think, if I was there, I bet by now I might be a little with him. I might be a little Kenzie about it. Like, I don't want to hold your fucking hand, dude. Give me a second. This is also my ride, and I'm dealing with some shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't you know this is the game? The game sucks. Like, this is the suck part of the game.
But then even Kenzie sucked it up and apologized later, quote unquote, just because she knew it was a game.
She's playing the game.
Yeah, I was like, come on, you stupid idiot. So dumb.
I know. She lost her temper there for a second.
So yeah, so we've got one girl, I didn't mark her name, who's like allergic to every fruit on the island. I thought she was going to say she's allergic to fish too, because that would have been funny.
And the medical doctor, when they were casting her, were like, that sounds like good TV. That sounds like possibly
cool.
someone might die.
Yeah. And then Jem took the idol, like with idol descriptions or whatever, and basically put them
beware advantage.
Put them on a hunting expedition.
She, with a huge smile, took her little beware advantage, took the idol, and then replaced it with the beware advantage.
Yeah. And then I had to ask because I didn't catch it. There's some footage or something where on the other team they're teaching some random bitch to jump.
So her name is Mariah. We actually posted a little something about her on our social media early this morning, because I really got a kick out of her. She is the least athletic, least physical person, highly intellectual, you know what I mean? Like a nerd. And she explains to her tribe when the clue comes, she's like, oh my God, I can't jump. And she's like, no, you don't understand. I actually can't jump. I get vertigo. Like, she physically can't gain air. And so, yeah, they're teaching her to jump in preparation for the challenge. But she's the same girl, if you were watching the challenge, that climbed up, and Jeff's like, it's a great clip because Jeff's like, here comes Mariah, and she climbs up, and she literally is just so clumsy looking, but she jumps off the thing, woohoo, like she's just loving her life. I'm like, that's Survivor. Miserable, scared, loving it.
Well, I guess jumping is easy when you literally have, 12, 20 feet to jump. You know what I mean? It's not like you're jumping. You just have to step off.
But they thought it was going to be one of those, you know how, it's obviously it's more serious on the challenge, but that type of the challenge where you have to jump and then grab a flag or something that's hanging. They thought it would be like that, where you actually do have to jump. They didn't realize it was just jumping into the freaking water.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. All that preparation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was what did I just say? Mariah.
Mariah is the name. Got it. Yeah. What else?
And purple wins the reward, but then loses the challenge, the immunity challenge.
Right. Which is really what they need to win. Because don't they keep losing?
Right. And Banu, which I thought about you. And then that's when you see the ugly side of the religion, because that's when Banu gets angry. I'm angry at him. Remember? So
yeah,
ding.
But he went through. They gave us his whole magical journey.
He did a full circle. I mean, I felt so bad. He literally was begging, will you help find me an idol? Please, please. Tiffany's like, get off your knees. I was like, Banu.
My favorite was Kenzie goes up to him. You okay? And he goes, I'm not. Here, and hands him the coconut and walks away. It was very much like a movie. It was like the little
yes.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh, Banu.
So
we're gonna be Team Banu till the end.
No, totally. I'm sad that So yeah, they lost the immunity challenge, honestly, and then I thought the weird part is, I'm sure we're skipping past because I had some hunters got the puzzle and shit like that, but they didn't even vote. Right? They just had a conversation, and Banu walked off.
Because everyone knew. They all knew. Banu was like, it's me. And no one said, no, it's not.
Yeah. That's so weird.
It was very much like, we know it's you. You know it's you. And all I knew about that moment was the look on Tiffany's face and Kenzie's face when he was telling his story. They looked so guilty. I was like, that's right, motherfuckers. All that shit you were talking and feeling about this guy.
Right.
Because I don't think they knew. I'm just saying the look on their face was like, oh my God. I was like, that's right. You're going to have to remember that you did that to one of the nice guys.
Yeah. And then the next day they're like, we got to do it again. Damn. Who's next?
Tiffany's not playing. Tiffany is not playing. Kenzie's going to bounce. I think that Kenzie's going to get voted out eventually because Kenzie.
Yeah, she's too aggressive.
She's going to rub somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And her facial expressions are going to piss someone off.
I agree.
But Tiffany, watch out.
Yeah.
Tiffany and Q coming in.
Yeah, Q is coming in with some games.
Yeah, those two you got to watch out because they're strong and they're smart.
So he goes off, and now we're on to the next episode, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Banu left. That was basically what the whole episode was more pain for Purple, more shit for Purple. And then they finally get rid of, I'm sure what in their minds is their downfall, which is Banu.
Yeah, but how can you say that when you have like a team of like what 3 now against 6? It's kind of like you're just screwed.
Yeah. I mean, come on. And well, you think that until this next episode, right?
Yeah, but still. So Hunter finds the Beware advantage.
Yes.
Is this the same one? I thought all 3 were found. Is this a new one? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, because Randon went home with the idol in his pocket.
Okay.
And so it reappeared on the island.
Okay. So it kind of restarts.
So Hunter rediscovered it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's replaced.
Okay. Yeah. So he finds it.
So there's always an active idol.
And was like,
so Hunter
fuck
finds
yeah,
it, right.
I'm going to do that. And then Q plants a little seed, if you will, saying, I will leave. If I must go, I will
like, I'm
go.
going to bail. But then he makes that funny comment about, I'd rather pass out and die before I leave the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's very physical 100 of you.
And then Yanu, which is the purple team, right? See, I didn't write the colors.
Yeah, Yanu rhymes with Banu. So it was kind of funny because Jeff and the Banu Yanu last episode was a lot.
They win the, because they always do have 2 challenges. One is like food and the other one's immunity.
It's first, the first challenge is reward. And then the second challenge is always immunity. And they won the food reward challenge, which is major because I think we're at day 10 now. And they're the only tribe with no flint. So they explained it at one point during the episode that they've been living off of like a singular coconut a day. They don't even have rice because they have no fire. And Tiffany speaks about how she's been freezing every night.
That's crazy.
They almost hold the record, remember Jeff says, for having them going the most days of any tribe ever in the history of the show with no flint.
Gross.
And if they hadn't won that reward challenge, they would have held the record for the most losses too.
Oh my God. Damn.
Of like 30-year show. How fucked up is that?
Yeah.
That's when you know you're really eating shit.
And then they also win the immunity challenge.
Challenge.
For the first time.
Yeah. Yes.
Now that they're just 3.
They're the only ones that have been to tribal.
So sad.
The other tribes don't even know. The other tribes are like on vacation.
And then Hunter, Tim, and Q are chosen to go on the journey.
Yes. And, they make it's a boys' trip. I can't wait to have this boys' trip. Like, and then they all give each other.
Yeah, and then they try to, make an alliance while they're over there. The 3 guys.
Yes. Which is always a danger for those journeys because you never know what is being discussed.
Yeah.
I mean, unless, of course, you said Banu, and then you definitely know what is being discussed.
And they have to vote on whoever has the most knowledge, if you will. And that one person gets to go do the puzzle, right? An advantage. And they choose Hunter, which wasn't very smart.
Yes. Which is so funny. But that's awesome because that just shows you the work that he's been doing on his, as far as his game. Because no one's on to him.
Yeah, true.
So that means that he's hanging out. People feel like they're getting to know him, and yet they're not getting to know him. That's clever.
And he gets 8 out of 20 of the logos right, so he totally does not know his survivor history.
Again, right, but I wouldn't know it either. Like, I'm a major fan, but I would not know my logos. That's crazy town. Like, my logos and my islands, like in the order, that's so crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
And I really like that he had a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. 2 things. Did you notice that Jeff did hand the immunity idol to Venus again?
I didn't notice, but I thought so. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I made a note.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't care that it was spoken to. They did it anyway.
Told you. They're fucking with her. Yeah, and then Jem, who in the previous episode was put everyone on a major hunt, finally goes out and has to measure the machetes. How many
Did you
lengths.
See how pissed everyone was? I didn't realize they dug up that whole tree and it took them 3 days.
Hysterical. And good for her that they didn't catch.
That's going to make her kind of legendary.
Yeah, totally. And then she found it. She actually found the immunity idol, which I think is pretty fantastic because that's kind of like...
But did it help her?
No, that's right. Because then she got voted off.
And look, she didn't use it because she was so oh, I'm good.
I didn't think that they were going to vote for her.
That's a second idol all ready to go home. Huh?
No one alluded to that she was going to... I mean, through the edit, no one alluded to the fact that they were going to vote for her.
No, but I did have a note that Tim was onto her.
But that was it, because everyone thought Tim. Everyone thought that Tim
that was it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right,
per
something
edit,
happened.
It was a blind-side. Yeah, damn.
I just think it's crazy that that's the second idol to go home.
Yeah, well, she didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know either.
Shit, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was So now I wonder because because I'm obsessed with production, but now I wonder because Hunters, because that idol just got rehidden. I question if it's going to be hidden in the same spot or if there's a new location. I wonder because that one.
No, it's a new. They go new.
All new. Okay. Because I just thought it would be funny because they dug up that tree. It would be funny if production kind of buries it next to the tree or buries it underneath the spot that they were burying, kind of thing.
No, I don't think it's the same.
Do you know what I mean? Okay.
That would be interesting, though.
Well, we're gonna find out soon enough.
So yeah, is that it?
That's it.
All we gotta say about Survivor.
That's it on my Survivor. We'll see when the merge is happening. Maybe the merge is happening next week.
No, it's too soon.
Really? Well, I only asked because, would they really have a team of 2 or a team of 1?
No, but there's a team. They would reorganize.
Oh, okay, but you see what I'm saying? Because there's a team of 3 right now.
But they don't. They still have our smallest team is 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And they haven't even batted an eye at that. So if they had lost someone else, I bet there would be maybe a reshuffling where they're take off your buffs and then they're pick a new buff.
I think that's gonna happen.
You still have 3 tribes.
Yeah, I see.
That means that Purple has to lose again.
There's so many few
You're
of them.
I think they are going to lose
Yeah,
again.
Kenzie's a loser.
Oh, all right.
Just kidding.
That's it. Hear that, Kenzie? Says.
No.
Tune in next week then, as we will cover the 3rd and final part of 90 Day The Single Life Tell All. We have our outdated and opinionated Southern Belles, Debbie and Tim. They still have a lot of judging to do.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us.
There are
outdated opinions of the Bells, us.
You like that? I thought it was accurate. There are more guests and confrontations, including a Debbie versus Debbie showdown.
Oh, God.
And they're also teasing that someone is proposing marriage. Acid thinks it's Johnny Sparkles. What do you guys think?
I do think it's Sparkles. Who else could it be? There's no one else that's truly, truly in love. Or
I don't know. I was like, hey, Michael, come on up from Alaska and be like, screw my mom. Natalie, will you marry me? That's not happening, though. I think Michael's coming on just to make Natalie feel like shit.
Yeah, that's what it feels like,
He loves to pile onto her.
He's pissed. He's mad at her. Whatever.
Yeah, permanently.
Yeah.
He's permanently.
Yeah, that's it. That's his personality.
Yeah.
And we will continue, of course, with Survivor episode 6. Almost 2 weeks of struggle and starvation, and Purple finally has the upper hand. I mean, I guess they got pastries. And how...
They have their flint, and they're winning.
Okay, they're finally sort of. Yeah, no Banu, and now they're winning. Wah, wah. Sad.
I know, that's what sucks about it. It's they're probably yes, this validates our position.
And how will the others survive? Are we close to a tribal merge? Tune in next week and we will discover together on what happens.
Yes, you can reach out to us via our website and let us know what you want us to talk about or stop talking about, or if you just have something to say and yell at us. Our website is Sorry We're Late. We didn't want to be here.com or we didn't want to be here.com. I'm Violet.
I am Acid Betty. And as we always say, kiss my chocolate starfish. Is that what it is? Is that what it looks like? Gross.
I don't know. What does your butthole look like?
Oh, it's has, what's that called?
Double meaning. Like your whispering eye.
Oh, kiss my whispering eye.
But you don't have one of those. Only I have one of those.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.